John, you're not supposed to know. You are supposed to know. What's up, guys? Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a cloud platform. Yeah, guys, it's a perfect in Scratch. You see, you're gonna need 3 sprites for this. You're gonna need a player 2, a level, and you're gonna need a notification that you're in the next level. Those 4 sprites. Let's just start coding the first. So, when the green flag is clicked, then spawn in the x of negative 180 and y 150. So now we should spawn it here. Sorry about the noise in the background. I do not have my mic right now. So we have a perfect square here. You can make yours whatever you want. And then when the green flag click, we're going to want to go in idle. Not up, but go in idle. I named my idle one because I thought I was going to make a clone, but now I'm not making a clone. I'm actually going to have to use a cloud variable so you should see that the player is moving. So, grab a forever loop and now make a new variable and then again variable and name it x velocity, but you're going to want to put the cloud variable because you're going to want to see other player moving. Whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then make another one and name this gravity. And then now put it also for the cloud variable right here, and now click on OK. So it will all automatically be set to all sprites. And then now, we're going to want to do the same where it's here, but you don't want to use the same values. You're going to want to do a different kind of cloud. So we'll set the x and y to those x positions and the y positions, and set the x and the y to those positions. Yes. And then now, we're going to start actually making some gravity, because that's what we always start with. And to start making gravity, we're going to need to grab our gravity variable and put -1. And then now, change y by the variable gravity. If you're trying to make 3 players, you could only make 4 players, that's the max, and then you won't be able to make any more players because Scratch wouldn't allow you. So if we test this should know for every single node. You see, because we can set the x velocity to the x and y. So what we need to do is we need to set the gravity to 150. When green flag is clicked, since we're setting it to our x and y, we should set our x velocity to, you know what, we could actually change these not for a, we don't need to do that because, you know why, because we're going to need either way the x positions and the y positions. To delete these 2 variables, they're just for testing. We're actually going to make a variable named x1 for a quad variable, and then x2 for quad variable, y2 also for quad variable, and y1 for quad variable. These will develop where the player is, so set them when it's supposed to be at. There. And these should know where the player's position should be set at. So just put them in this right here, and then now set the y to be at 150, and then the x to be at -180. So You spawn in your same position, but we're actually seeing the player spawn. Now, we're going to make a variable and name this gravity for display only, and then an x velocity for also display only. So x velocity, and make it for display only as well. So now you have a bunch of variables, but we're going to need 2 more for the second player. So just hide all of these variables. And now I'm going to just set the x velocity and the y velocity. So the gravity to 0, set that to 0. And then now set the x velocity. So get the x velocity. And let's see what this fits. If it fit in here. Right here. And then now put that on top. And as you can see, we have all of our variables and set them to its amount where it's supposed to. Now change y by gravity, and then now change gravity by -1. We should always know where the player is because we set the x position. So we don't really have to matter when it's moving. As you can see, we go down. So now, go to events, and when the green flag clicks, go there. So we should have both of them as separate for every week. Or instead, we could just add it right inside because it's the exact same thing. So, since we're sharing our same positions, we go very slow. Now, we don't really have to worry about that once again. Now, if then we are touching the level, then we change y by. And if you're new here, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell. Turn up your notifications if you don't want to miss another one of our videos. Let's continue. So multiply that by -1 and then get your gravity. And then now set the gravity to 0. So now if we hit the 4, it should always work. See, but we're actually moving 1 pixel by 1. So if we move 10 pixels by 10, see, we go more upper. And this just can't handle it. So we can go -10. Now it's doing that. Because 1 is the favorite number. But if we touch it, we're always sharing our x and y positions. We always share it. That is why we're going up. So, at the same time, we should also be changing our y position, because if we're touching the level, then we get back up. Pretty much like a catch game. Now it's taking a very long time for this to be honest. As you can see, we reset back up. It's because we're not changing our y position as well. So to do that, we could actually go to variables and we could change the x by. You can see that there's nothing. But if we change the y by -1, we shouldn't reset. And we should just stay on our position because we're setting it to the same values. So this trick should do it, I'm pretty sure. As you can see, we reset a little more upper. It's because we're setting it. So if we just change it by pausing for, see that we stay in the same position. So now, if we just change y by, just keep changing it and changing it and changing it. We always just set the x and y positions to the same positions. No matter what, no matter how many times we move, the other screen can see the pointer moving, which is great. It's still going down. As you can see, we reset to the 4 because we're setting our gravity to 0. And we're changing our y by. So, if we just change y by, also y1, then put it inside of our forever loop. And we just set y1 to 0. Now we're going to reset back up. We just set our set to 0. It's because we're setting it. We're not actually changing any y positions. So, we put change it. And as you can see, we securely stay on the 4. And now, we got perfect gravity. But every single move we do, we always have to keep this in here, which is good. If W is pressed, because I'm going to use the WSD. Actually, yeah, let's just use some arrow keys. If up arrow pressed, set these positions. Set Y1 and set gravity both to 12, because that's what I want my number as. There's a jump power. You want yours? You could do yours. But every single time we're touching the 4, we should always be touching the 4. And now, also change this by -1, so we never reset. And now, we could jump. Now if you just set these to 5, let's say, or 8, as you can see, we jump a little high. And as you see, you could jump. And we'll see the player jumping because of our cloud variable. Now it's time to make the X position. To make the X position, all we need to do is we're going to change Y by, I'm going to change X by, good motion. Now, change X bar at the bottom right here. X1 and now set Y1 and multiply that 0.8 and x1, and also put the x velocity. Now this will just allow the player to move. Put it back in the forever loop. And now it's time to actually code for real. So, if the right arrow is pressed, then we'll change the x1 by, and the x velocity by 1. So you can see, you can move. With the right arrow. Pretty sure. Yeah. So now, for the other position, I'm going to want to make left arrow. So we should go -1. And now we should always share these values. But there's one thing that we need to fix. It is wall collision. We could just go through walls. Who waits to end the game? It just makes the game look ugly. And to do this, first let's make the X wall collision. And then after that, we make the Y wall collision. So if we're touching level, if we're touching the level, then we're going to want to go to motion. Sorry about my lagginess. And there's also going to be a part 2 for a second player, because we're only making the first player, and because we'll only be able to see the first player move. So now, then we should change X by. We go to operators. I want to multiply that by -1. Alright, so now, multiply that. Don't divide it, multiply it. Let's do with a star at the third block of operators. You should find it there. Now, my computer's really loud. So now, adding -1 the second one, which is on the left side, and on the right side, which is the first side, or on the left side. And the right side, put a -1 on the left side. We're going to want to put x1. And then duplicate it. And now, make it be x velocity. X velocity. Put it right there. And now, set x1 to 0. Since we're changing the x1, not setting it. Then, we also set the x velocity to 0 as well. Now gravity, x velocity. Now, if we try going through a wall, we should have wall collision. Now it's not working. Save it. Now, if we try going through a wall, everything should be good. We do get pushed aside a little bit. And then one more thing for the square as well is we need to duplicate this whole entire thing. If we're trying to make roofs, then you're in good luck. And if you just go down, let's just try going through a wall. Bang! Now, as you see, it brings us into the wall. We're not supposed to be burned into the wall. But we don't go into the wall. It's probably because we need a hitbox. Yeah. And now, we duplicate it and just add it into here. Then, take this out, put gravity, and put y1. Then, put y1 on here, and put gravity in this one. Now, instead, we're actually going to get 2 change y bars and put each of them inside. And put it into here. So that should work. And that was part 1 of today's series because it's his birthday. And I'll see you guys next one. Peace out.
Yeah, subscribe if you want Robo Toy.
Yeah, like and subscribe if you want my birthday.